Party, Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, Haruna Mohammed. Hello, Haruna. Good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News. I know the party was watching that space closely because that is an important seat for you, and you will want to retain it at all costs. Given that the matter in court is ended, what is the party's thinking? Yes, of course, I know you've opened nominations, but what is the party doing to heal wounds there, even as you embark on getting a new candidate?
Thank you very much, Salom. Nominations will be open tomorrow. That is Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. Where we are now, the party needs a proactive approach to this particular circumstances. And the party will be opening nominations for the conduct of the elections from tomorrow, and nominations will close on the 5th. And elections will come on the 8th. Salom, you know that Electoral Commission has given dates for submission or filing of nominations for parliamentary and presidential elections. And 9th September is just at the corner, and the party needs to take the necessary steps to make sure that we have a candidate for the good people of Walewale. The NPP is a national party. This has gone through the court process. The court has given a judgment. And in the decision of the party through the General Secretary, we need to take the necessary steps. And one of the steps is to ensure that we get a candidate for Walewale. And that is what we are doing currently. Hello.
I see. But, you know, we've seen it in other places. In fact, even in your own party, sometimes you're able to call the parties together and they smoke the peace pipe and we let sleeping dogs lie. Given that it's a very important constituency and is so symbolic, given that it's the hometown or home constituency of the vice president, who is flag bearer for your party in this election, why couldn't you explore that ADR mechanism to ensure that sleeping dogs do not wake up, as it were?
Stella, you can remember that during the process of the court, the party's director of elections went to the court and requested for out of court settlement. The judge agreed to the party's request, and we went through a certain process. Lo and behold, we had to go back to the court. You know, democracy in Ghana is built on the rules of the game, which is the 1992 Constitution. So once we are not able to do so, and the court has decided, party will go by the court's decision. We would have wished not to get to where we are today, but unfortunately, we had to go through a process that also is constitutional, which is through the courts of Ghana. And I believe that the party will still engage the parties involved in terms of this particular exercise, and I believe that the NPP will come out victorious, not any of the individuals.
I see. So they say the process is expensive, etc. And what are you doing on the ground? Because the two parties the two individuals in this particular contest obviously are hugely popular. The sitting MP, former gender minister, and then the young Dr. Kabiru, very popular on the ground. I understand a lot of the young people warm up to him, etc. They are peeved, and the other side is jubilating. You know, there will be a result in the end after the weekend when a candidate is elected. What steps are you taking to ensure that wounds are healed, just so that you don't split your votes in the election? Somebody doesn't go independent, somebody doesn't develop cold feet, and somebody doesn't say, because I lost, I will not support this person, which will leave the seat, which is already closely contested, going to the NDC perhaps.
Yes, Salam, it's true. The party has a reconciliation team. We are also taking cue from what happened after the Walewale elections. And we are also going to meet as an elections committee. You know, I'm the chairman for the elections committee for the Walewale constituency. I've already extended hands to various stakeholders within this particular frame, the constituency party, the regional party, the Electoral Commission. From tomorrow when we open the nomination, we'll meet with the security agency. On the grounds, I'll have the opportunity to meet with the youth and what have you. My duty is to ensure that we have a free and fair elections, and also as a national officer of the party to ensure that I engage the youth and let them understand that it is the New Patriotic Party, it is not any other individual. I believe that when a fair ground is given and then the decision is made, and based on the discussions that we have on the sideline, I believe that we will all come together and to accept the fact that even though democracy is expensive, but it must resonate very well with all of us.
I see. So now, just moving on, it does appear that quite a number of independent candidates are coming up. And then, I'm sure that the objective will be that whoever loses in this particular Walewale rerun contest does not also follow what two others are doing. So the question is, we've heard of Cynthia Morrison. Now Kojo Asante of Suhum is declared is going to run independent. The party obviously should be concerned about this. The center doesn't appear to be holding.
Salam, yes, we are concerned. But as we stand now, all these cases that you have mentioned remains rumors because none of them is confirmed to have gone independent. Until they pick nominations, file their nominations, it still remains rumor. So the party is engaging on the backside to ensure that some of these things is nipped in the bud. But it's unfortunate that it is also coming out. But as a party, people go into contests, they lose elections, and sometimes they take time to recover. And I believe that the party will be able to deal with some of these particular matters. Those of them that will not be able to deal with, the party will face it and then move on to ensure that victory is annexed for us.
Will you say that this signals a failure on the part of the party's election reconciliation committee or anybody like that put together to resolve issues after the primaries? Will you attribute that to a failure of, say, NHS committee?
I will find it difficult to attribute it to the reconciliatory committee. There has never been a perfect reconciliation in the world. And if we have such situations that has not been able to be resolved quickly to be able to move on, you look at the aggregate of the issues and to look at what is the number of issues that is still outstanding that is going independent. And then you'll be able to tell whether we have made success or we have made failures. But in this particular instance, these are issues that comes out because of individual interest rather than party interest. And that is what we have to look out. Sometimes our mindset is what is in the spirit of patriotism. And that is why I have always said that the party is bigger than any other individual. And as we engage, these people can even change their stand. Because there is a saying that it's only a fool who doesn't change his stand. So we will continue to engage. We will continue to talk to them. We will continue to do a number of things until picking and filing of nominations happens. We might not be able to say that these people will actually go for those particular elections that they thought to have indicated to go.
I see. Now today, on another matter again, the Electoral Commission addressed the press a while ago, and it admitted to the inflated voters register in the Ejumako Enyamesiam constituency, for example. And it says that this was an error. And the NDC had accused the EC of colluding with you people to inflate the register by over 3,000 voters. What do you say to this admission and the acceptance of responsibility by the EC for this inflated voters register? This is 3,000 votes we are talking about.
Salam, was it an admission of an error or an admission of inflation? What I heard from the
error led to the inflation.
No, I cannot say whether it is inflated. What they said at the press conference is that some numbers of votes in the 2020 or so were added back. Where were they? What was the narration given to that? The data was sitting in their system. They made an error to add it to Ejumako. Is it deliberate or not? This is what the commission should be telling us, because we are all interested. What they said is error, but I have not heard them say that they have inflated. So the Electoral Commission is a human institution. We, even as NPP, will not accept some of these things when it comes up. So we need to investigate those particular issues and let the Electoral Commission to give us a concrete evidence of what actually happened. Is it a system error or is it a human error? This is what we all require to hear from the Electoral Commission. And we all know that human beings will make error at any point in time. Even systems, sometimes if the coding is done right, the communication flow within the system cannot also be right. So we need to look at them and see what has informed that. For example, we have some people in Tamale here who were wrongly put in a particular polling station and also kept another polling station which they belong. Because of the movement of the machine, they could not correct the system to the current electoral area. So as a result of that, they were being identified as multiple registration. In this particular exhibition, these persons have gone to fill the form for inclusion, and the Electoral Commission is considering that. Should in case these names come onto the register, can you say that the register has been inflated? So we need to get the background of the error. What necessitated that? To the cause of that? What is it at all? What is the effect? And how we'll be able to analyze this particular error? We, NPP, are also interested to get to see what was the cause of the error.
So the NDC was complaining about this, and your party felt that some of the concerns you were raising were needless. Now that the EC has taken responsibility for the problem and sought to explain itself away, would you say that the NDC was justified in raising those concerns?
I can say that we said, I can remember a day that we said that they raised an issue in the Jumaku constituency, and we said it is needless. We have continued to say that when you have issues with the Electoral Commission, it is not how volume of shouts you have that will correct it, but it is how necessity you consider to write and follow up for correction, and the Electoral Commission identify and make sure that corrective measures are made. It is not the number of press conferences you done, but the number of appeals that you will be able to put through for the Electoral Commission to accept the fact or to look at or investigate the issues that you bring. That is what we question. The issues that we have raised to say the NDC is missing, none of those issues have been mentioned in this particular press conference. That goes to justify that the NPP has always said, make sure that we follow the due process, not just to make noise of every issue that goes within the Electoral Commission. So it is not a justification, but for them, this is the issue that they have followed up because they have much interest in it, and they have. We have gotten hold of some of these particular matters. And Salom, it is in our interest to follow it up. It is in our interest to write to the Commission. It is in our interest to make sure that the right things are done. We are the people who propose the use of the biometric system. It is because of this biometric system that we are identifying this particular error. Assuming they were all manual systems, how will you be able to identify them? So we are able to run system upon systems on the data submitted by the Electoral Commission. And the NPP have chosen not to make noise out of that, but to make sure that we use the system to fight the system. And that is why we are making sure that when we find an error, we write to the Commission and request or demand to have answers or responses from the Commission.
Has a date for the next IPAC meeting been determined, and what will you be taking there in respect of this admission by the EC?
Yes, once the IPAC meeting is set, the party, the NPP, will make sure that we prepare ourselves in terms of the data analysis that we have done. All of us have had the opportunity, CI 127, CI 91, that is in Regulation 22, as we have been provided with the provisional register. We have done an analysis of all the names that have been provided by the Electoral Commission vis-a-vis the existing data that we have. We will have a number of issues to discuss at IPAC and any other matter that will come that is of much interest to this particular election. So we will interrogate all these matters, further and better explanation from the Electoral Commission, right from which will even be different from the press conference that they have delivered to the people of Ghana.
So for now, I mean, you don't really have any, or you've not seen any major problem worthy of mentioning to the media, at least as the NDC did in all your analysis you say you have done.
Salom, when we were proposing for the biometric system, most of them, the features, the scope, and what have you that we were proposing to the Electoral Commission was not a discussion within the media scape. When we wanted to change the voting system in Ghana we wrote a stolen verdict. We made that document public, and everybody knows it. We are not going to be discussing issues that we have raised in the media because the NDC is doing so. When it is necessary for us to discuss a certain matter, tell them, you are our friends. You are the vehicle in which all political parties put out their information. And we have found it that we rather address it to the commission. If the commission addresses it, then when we are satisfied, there is no need to amplify it. But if it is not, then we will come out and bring the media on matters that we disagree vehemently with the Electoral Commission.
I see. And I hope this is a position of principle, whether in government or in opposition.
We have always done so, whether in government or in opposition. In opposition, the biometric system, there were a lot of matters we did not discuss in the media. And also, as we are in government, there are a lot of matters too. We also came out and criticized the Electoral Commission. Salam, I'm number one. I told the Electoral Commission in their face that when we were going for the registration of voters, we were supposed to be given the names, the list and pictures of the officers that were supposed to man the polling centers. And we were not given. Per the CR, we lashed out the Electoral Commission for not following the procedures. We met at a Peace Council meeting where we had a number of discussions. I lashed out the Electoral Commission on a number of matters that they have violated the instance of publicity and notification of parties on certain matters. We have done so publicly on a number of times, but we might not be able to tell the Electoral Commission on all matters that we disagree. But some of them we have done so publicly in government. We have done so in private, even in opposition. So, Salam, you are our friends. Anything that we would have to discuss to the media, we will come out and discuss that. Something we have to agree, we will agree. Something that we have to disagree, we will disagree in principle. And that is what the NPP always does.
Very well. Thank you so much, Haruna Mohammed, Deputy General Secretary of the NPP. Thanks so much for speaking to us on Eyewitness News. Eyewitness News on 97.3 City FM.